For over 20 years inside of the Mario franchise, we've had Mario Kart, one of the most popular and most loved racing games. With it being such a fun game to play with friends and being so competitive, it has become a cult phenomenon. It's such a phenomenon that there are even companies that have tried to recreate this for their TV show or movie IP's character kart racing idea. So let's see the evolution of Mario Kart. During the SNES era, there was something called Mode 7. This allowed for backgrounds in games to be scaled and rotated, giving a 3D effect. There were certain games that used this, like Final Fantasy 4 and 6, Star Fox, Super Star Wars, and F-Zero. And F-Zero was the game that inspired Nintendo to make a multiplayer racing game. At first, the game would not have Nintendo characters, as Hideki said in an Iwata Asks interview. He wanted to involve a basic guy in overalls. It was also planned for the game to use cars instead of karts, but because karts gave a more fun vibe, like at amusement parks, the switch was made. Some of the Mario Kart team even participated in a research project riding go-karts. Also during the interview, Miyamoto stated that Mario Kart was not really a racing game at first, but more a free roam style game. Some of the obstacles in the game were also very different from today. For instance, the banana peels were oil canisters. To enhance the multiplayer experience, Nintendo also wanted to add some sort of battle mode. This is where the balloon mode came into place. And after all of this, when Super Mario Kart released on August 27th of 1992, it sold over 8.7 million copies. Due to the fact that Miyamoto and his team were preoccupied with Mario 64, this left Kono needing to lend help from other departments to work on Mario Kart 64. Kono also explained that the characters, although in a 3D world, were drawn onto boards. So we first drew the images from various angles to be able to show the karts from various angles. Then we put them on boards so they could be animated. This is also the first time that we would see the spinny shell, or also infamously known as the blue shell. Koopa Troopa and Donkey Kong Jr., who were in Super Mario Kart, would not appear in Mario Kart 64. Instead, they were replaced with Donkey Kong and Wario. Mario Kart 64 would release on December 14th of 1996, and it would sell over 9.8 million copies. Mario Kart Super Circuit became the first Mario Kart game to be on a portable device, of course that being the Game Boy. It also surprisingly has the biggest count of tracks amongst any Mario Kart game, coming in at 40, if you don't count Mario Kart 8's DLC, which comes in at 48. Super Circuit is also the first Mario Kart game to not be developed by Nintendo's EAD team. Instead, it was done by Intelligent Systems, a first-party developer of Nintendo. Super Circuit would release on July 21st of 2001 and sell over 5.9 million copies. Unlike any previous or even modern version of Mario Kart, Double Dash features the ability to have 2 characters per kart, which means that you and your friend can play together in the same kart. There's also the ability to play together with up to 16 people in a LAN party. There were plans as well for Double Dash to be connected to the Game Boy, but it was never added. Mario Kart Double Dash would release on November 17th of 2003, becoming the fastest selling GameCube game, selling a total of 6.9 million copies. Mario Kart DS became the first Mario Kart to have online support. It's also the first in its series to support up to 8 players through the wireless local multiplayer. There was also the idea from developers to allow players to use the touchscreen to place the items on the track wherever, but it never came to be because the developers also believed that it would become confusing. Professor Egad was meant to be in the game, but instead was replaced with Dry Bones. There's also a ton of things that are unused inside of the game, like 4 test courses, 9 tracks, and an unfinished GCN Mario circuit. Mario Kart DS would release on November 14th of 2005 and sell over 23 million copies. Mario Kart for the Wii would be the first Mario Kart game to feature motion control. In addition to this, Nintendo wanted to make a wheel. Designers focused a lot on the look, going through 30 different prototypes. To accommodate this, the wheel was modeled to be the size of a go-kart wheel. This would also be the first Mario Kart game to have BMX motorcycles, which was an idea Kono wanted to implement since Double Dash, but it seemed way too odd for the team to see Mario on a motorcycle. Mario Kart Wii was released on April 10th of 2008 and would sell over 37 million copies, making it the best-selling Mario Kart game to date. Mario Kart 7 started its development in 2010 near its release time. This was because the team was consisted of only 8 people due to there being work on other projects. Nintendo even had to consult with Retro Studios to work on the game. This would be the first Mario Kart game to use the Fire Flower, Glider, Super Leaf, and Lucky 7, which is exclusive to Mario Kart 7. This is also the only Mario Kart game that allows you to drive in first person. There were also new characters added like Metal Mario, Lakitu, Wiggler, and Honey Queen. Motorcycles were actually removed in this version due to system limitations. There also are no fake item boxes, Thundercloud, Mega Mushroom, and Pal Block. Mario Kart 7 would release on December 11th of 2011 and would sell over 17 million copies. Mario Kart 8, of course, now has 2 versions, the Wii U and Switch version. I'll talk about them both in the same frame because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still counts as Mario Kart 8. So Mario Kart 8 is the first Mario Kart game to feature the ability of anti-gravity tracks, and to drive in 200 cubic centimeters. Mario Kart TV was also added, which allows players to view moments in their games and other players' games. It also allows them to upload their highlights to Miiverse and YouTube. There are a ton of new characters added to this version, including Baby Rosalina, Larry Morton, Wendy, Igim, Ludwig, and Pink Gold Peach. For Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it introduced the ability to carry 2 items without having to drag it. It also fixed the issue of Mario Kart 8, which had the battle mode use real tracks instead of battle tracks. It also returned the double item box feature from Double Dash. There are also new characters added to this version, like the Inklings from Splatoon, and they also added all the Mario Kart 8 DLC characters. There's also a new battle mode called Renegade Roundup. And there was also another battle mode that made a return called Bomb Bomb Blast, which was from Double Dash. Mario Kart 8 would release on May 29th of 2014 and would sell over 8.4 million copies, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was released on April 28th of 2017 and has sold over 10.3 million copies. This total has made over 18.7 million copies. Till this day, Mario Kart is still a popular title and it's not going anywhere. It was a crazy sounding idea that became a classic inside of the Mario franchise, creating a whole new genre of racing games where companies use their IPs as the racers. And because of that, we've gotten some pretty amazing games. And I cannot wait to see what Nintendo will do next for Mario Kart.